In every nation, there are assets you can debate and assets you don't touch. Gold has always belonged to the second category, silent, untouched, a final guarantee against the storms of history. And yet, in 2025, Italy opened the door the world never expected. A proposal from its ruling party sought to redefine more than 2,000 tons of national gold, not as a technical reserve managed by the central bank, but as property of the Italian people. To some, this was an act of sovereignty. To others, the first crack in the financial firewall that should never be politicized. Welcome to Gauge and Productory, the intersection where power defines policy and capital drives outcomes. Thank you for your time. Gold is the one asset that does not care about inflation, elections, or political cycles. It does not collapse when governments fail. It does not devalue when currencies panic. And this is why central banks protect it with almost religious discipline. Gold is not wealth for today. It is security for the decade after the crisis you didn't see coming. Italy understands this. It holds the world's third largest reserve, more than the United Kingdom, China, or Switzerland. A strategic buffer worth over 150 billion euros. Until recently, its control rested with the Bank of Italy, independent, apolitical, and shielded from political storms. But political storms always find new territory. In late 2025, lawmakers from Brothers of Italy introduced an amendment with deceptively simple wording. The gold reserves of the Bank of Italy belong to the people. If you read it casually, it feels symbolic, a patriotic statement, nothing more. But in economics, symbolism has consequences. And in a nation carrying one of Europe's highest public debt burdens, every symbol is interpreted through the lens of pressure, risk, and opportunity. Supporters of this idea are celebrating the move. Critics see it as a political hand, reaching for an asset that was never meant to be touched. Supporters frame this as a restoration of sovereignty, a statement that national resources should reflect national ownership. To them, the gold belongs to the Italian people, not technocrats, not the European Central Bank, not unelected officials. They argue the amendment increases transparency, strengthens national identity, and reinforces the idea that Italy is not merely a participant in Europe, but a sovereign power with control over its strategic wealth. And yes, beneath the rhetoric lies a practical argument. In moments of genuine crisis, political leaders should have the authority to mobilize every asset available to protect the nation, even gold. But critics see something very different. To them, the Gold Amendment is not about symbolism, it is about access, and access creates risk. The European Central Bank reacted immediately and sharply. Their message was clear. Bringing national gold under political influence threatens the independence of the eurozone's financial architecture. If politicians can influence or claim ownership over reserves, investors fear the next step, using gold to plug deficits, collateralize new debt, or artificially strengthen short-term budgets. Financial markets punish uncertainty. Borrowing costs rise. Credit agencies question sustainability, and the euro, already navigating complex global forces, becomes vulnerable. Critics warn, once gold becomes political, stability becomes negotiation. So what happens if the proposal advances beyond symbolism? Scenario 1. Symbolism only. Tensions rise with Brussels. Market reaction is mild. The political narrative shifts, but the economic foundation remains intact. Scenario 2. Political influence expands. Even the perception of control could push up Italy's borrowing costs. Trust, the currency more valuable than gold, begins to erode. Scenario 3. Actual use or sale of gold. Short-term relief for budgets, long-term structural damage, and an irreversible message. Italy's crisis buffer is now a political instrument. This proposal doesn't only affect Italy. If other nations adopted the same approach, especially those with fragile fiscal positions, global confidence in gold reserves could shift. In Southern Europe, similar moves could trigger market anxiety. In emerging markets, it could accelerate inflation, weaken currencies, and deepen volatility. And if major economies were ever to politicize their gold, the global monetary equilibrium, built on the quiet, independent management of reserves, would face its most serious test in decades. Italy has walked near this territory before. In the 1930s, a national campaign, Oro alla Patria, or Gold for the Fatherland, urged citizens to surrender personal gold to support the state. Today is not the same moment, but the symbolism resonates. When a nation invokes gold as a political message, it taps into a deep historic undercurrent of power, sovereignty, and identity. So what does Italy's proposal represent? A patriotic reminder that national wealth belongs to the people, or the first step toward the political influence of assets meant to stand above politics? The debate surrounding Italy's gold is not simply about economics. It is about the delicate balance between power and stability, sovereignty and responsibility. Because when a nation reaches for its gold, it reveals not only its intentions, but its fears. And the world is watching which one motivates Italy today.